Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host Jay. I'm here with my co-host Micah
Hello.
and Terrence.
What's up?
All right, guys, we are back. This is episode 248, The Stepmother 2. This, of course, is starring Erica Mena once again. I'll read the log line here. Elizabeth, a woman with dissociative identity disorder, cheats death and has a new mission to find a new family and live happily ever after beyond her troubled past. This is a sequel. We did the first movie. I don't remember exactly which episode it is. I want to say it's like 227 or something like that. I'll try to see if I can find it. Yeah, I did. I was exactly right. 227. So you should listen to the first one if you've not listened to that one, and you should definitely watch the first movie before you watch the second one. I'm going to lean on Terrence to give his review first, and then Terrence has something in store for everybody.
I literally just finished it like 3 minutes ago. Okay. Because I was putting off watching the movie. Because
that makes sense.
We did the first one and I knew what to expect. It's not good. The end. No, Erica Mena is giving it her all. Maybe. Sure. I guess. Yeah, sure. She's the best part of the movie.
She is, though.
Yeah,
she's the best part of the movie. Right.
That's a wild statement, but okay, yeah.
It's not. Look, again, we've been saying this for like 12 years, right? Just because you like a movie doesn't mean the movie's good, folks. Like, it's entertaining. Like, there are things that are entertaining, but you can't tell me they're good, right? Mortal Kombat is a terrible movie. Slightly entertaining. Yeah, this is terrible. This is not a very good movie. It goes above the level of like the Tubi movies you see in clips on like Facebook because there's a little bit more production value, but
sure,
acting is really not any better. Like, those cops, all of the cops were fucking garbage.
Like, what the fuck? It's one of the greatest scenes I've ever seen in that bar. Pure message.
What it is like to be a black man raising up. Okay, nigga, shut up.
Like the insecurity is just jumping out, yo. Like, god damn, yo. Like, this is somebody who obviously co-parents with someone that they don't like.
Right? Yeah, that is very obvious.
Like, come on.
It was so terrible. Like, his line delivery was awful. Like, I could see that being a solid, like the script is terrible. I could see that being a solid read if he was a good actor. He was not. Yeah, this movie's bad, but I was entertained. That's all I got, man. Just like the first one. Terrible, but entertaining.
Yeah.
And that's why they made a third one.
Yeah, people like
movies. Like, people like Tubi. Like, Tubi has its niche, man. Tubi has a following.
It does.
Again, like Micah just read some fucking a lineup of movies on Tubi, and it's all over the place. It's like, you can watch. Like, I got the Hookup, and then the Great Debaters, and then like
Stepmother.
Couldn't believe it.
A hood love story, whatever the fuck.
I couldn't believe it, man.
That's wild. Now, Terrence, you found a 10. It was a 10-star review or a 5-star?
Yeah, it's a 10-star review on IMDb, and someone really enjoyed. Well, I don't know if they enjoyed the movie, but they enjoyed Erica Mena's performance in both movies. It says Erica Mena 10 out of 10. From watching Love and Hip Hop, I never knew Erica Mena could act. The Stepmother 1 and 2. Mena gives you That just fucked me all the way up. Mena gives you a truly great performance from start to finish. She embodies the character and makes you believe she is 100,000% crazy. It was the first time seeing Erica Mena act, and she nailed the part. Couldn't see anyone else playing this role. She had me fully convinced she nuts. With a capital N.
Capital N. 2 T's.
Two teeth.
With two teeth. Mena plays a woman with mental health who suffers with PTSD and bipolar. That's what I got from watching If I Could Be Wrong. Watching it, I could be wrong. Sorry. The film is well written. No, it isn't. And the acting from Erica Mena is truly great. I watched both films back to back and would recommend anyone to watch. 10 out of 10.
Okay. Agree to disagree. Agree to disagree. Wow. But look, there's everybody's got their thing. So, God bless.
Good. Good thing though.
Micah, your thoughts on this movie?
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't think this is good.
Would you watch it in a box? Really bad. Would you watch it with a box?
It's really bad. And to top it off, it's not fun. I don't think it's. I don't think there's any. I thought this was. It took me 3 hours to watch this movie, and I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people who can like start a movie and then stop it. It's like once I'm in, I'm committed. Right? We riding this thing to the end, and it moves at a glacial pace. And there's literally the most entertaining part about this movie happens in the first 10 minutes when she's in the hospital and she's going through her bipolar dissociative identity PTSD bullshit, right? Like when she's chained to the hospital bed, and that's the best part of the movie, and that's it. Much like the first movie, there are flashes of crazy at the very beginning, and then we gotta sit through an hour and a half of nothing before we even get a hint of a crazy woman again. And that's why you come to this. That's why everybody likes the first one, because they like the crazy, but they don't remember that there wasn't much of the crazy. So I figured, all right, well, if you're doing a sequel, everybody obviously loved the crazy. Right. Let's get more crazy, right? Like this needs to be like some Fatal Attraction type, like this movie. I would argue this movie is trying to have you root for her character.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, which is fucking weird.
It doesn't feel okay.
He's a psycho killer.
Do you remember the movie Don't Breathe? That old man who was blind.
Oh, and I never saw that, but yes, I know.
Some kids broke into his house, and it turns out he's like a crazy person, right? Like, and then it's like, oh shit, we got to get out of here, right? They made a sequel where that guy in the first movie, who was obviously the villain, is now the hero, and it doesn't make sense. And it's
a rapist,
right? He was a rapist.
He fucking held a child hostage in his basement in the first
movie. Right.
It's very weird.
And look, man, like that's what and they turned him into the hero of the second movie, and that's what this movie did. Look, this is bad, yo. And I can't even say that I'm disappointed, because disappointment would imply that I was expecting something and didn't get it. Like, this is just nothing. This is nothing. And look, I've never made a movie, right? I'm sure it's very difficult to make a movie, right? I don't have to have made a movie to be able to criticize a movie, just like you dummies don't make podcasts but criticize us. Okay? So let's just end that bullshit argument right now. This is a trash ass movie. It is a terrible argument. The argument is almost as trash as this movie, but I can't. Oh, this movie's bad, yo, and I'm really upset. Like, this ain't gonna be a fun episode for me, man. This is a bad movie. This is a bad movie. I don't like it.
I don't like it. So here's my favorite part of all of this. I went back today and listened to. I've gotten probably maybe a third of the way through episode 227 of our review of the first movie. Almost verbatim what Micah just said is exactly what he said about the first movie. Like, it's hilarious. You texted us earlier today, and you were like, "I don't think I can do this." We talk about in that episode that you messaged that same day. You're like, "I don't think I can do this." And incidentally, Tiara, who is not on this episode, unfortunately, she also said the same thing in that episode. She was like, "Guys, I watched this movie and I got halfway through. I was like, I don't think I can do this." I was like, and we were like, "That's exactly what Micah just said." Like, it's all the same. You literally said, like, "I'm not going to have a fun time on this episode. I'm going to try." Like, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same reaction. Go back and listen. The entire first, like, 5 minutes of that episode is like, outside of Terrence's reading that ridiculous review, it is almost verbatim the exact same conversation. So, look, in listening to that episode is fucking hilarious. We're going to have a great time. This movie's terrible. Like, it's really bad. This is one of 5 of Erica Mena's to-be original films, which is pretty amazing. I'm almost impressed by how terrible this movie is. It's so bad. Like, it makes, like, when I was watching it, all I could think is, man, I remember how bad Insecure was when we watched that and reviewed it, but also remember how much fun I had on that episode. It's as bad as that movie. Well, it's actually worse than that movie, but it's just as, like, utterly ridiculous, right? There's nothing better than a bad movie trying to be a good movie, right? Like, they're really trying, and I think they're trying. Like, Erica Mena is definitely trying to, like, do a dissociative identity disorder kind of role, much more than the first one where she was just like, "I'm evil." But it's worse. It is actually worse for her to try to do like a person with legitimate mental health issues. Like, please stop. Just stop. Like, it's not cool.
Like, it almost seems offensive. You know? That's what it seems like.
My boy. It's like, I'm sorry, Paul Bearer, is the Undertaker there? Like, relax. Like it's very weird. Kane's alive, Undertaker. Like, oh my god. Like, it's very weird. I don't know what her inspiration is. Does she have an inspiration? Like, does she, like, really think about this role? Did she, like, see someone who she's like, I'm gonna come mimic that performance? I don't know. Everyone is bad in it. I agree with that. She probably is the best actor in this. Incidentally, how old is the son in this movie? Was he about 10, 11 years old?
He's supposed to be 14.
14? That little ass kid?
Yeah, he said he's 14.
Okay, that's weird. I never need to hear a little kid ask the question. And I'm paraphrasing here. Was my uncle smashing my mom? And I was like, all right, I need you to not say that. It was fucking wild. So wild.
I think I missed that line.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a wild
I missed
line.
that.
Yeah, he asked.
He said it.
Yeah,
he said,
that.
"Come on, I'm 14. Like, be real with me." Like,
yeah. Be real with me. Was my uncle smashing my mom? All right, like, not that real. Like, relax.
Get your ass the fuck out my room, nigga. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, bro. He was getting in them guts. Like, what the fuck am I talking to you for? Get out of here. Yeah, this movie's really bad. I was entertained. It incidentally took me 2.5 days to finish it. We changed dates on our recordings, and I immediately turned this off. I was like, nope, I'll wait till tomorrow. Like, absolutely not. I'm not gonna keep watching this. So yeah, highly recommend it for all of you to watch. Since we
I recommend it.
Yeah, we had to suffer. You suffer too. Suffer along with it.
No, I do not. The Christian in me does not want to see strangers suffer.
I'm not Christian.
I'm not Christian, so I'm a heathen. I don't know what to tell you.
Y'all niggas gotta watch this. Get out of here.
Jesus Christ.
So the movie starts with Elizabeth Carter played by Erica Mena. She wakes up in a hospital after being stabbed at the end of the first movie. She wakes up in a hospital. She is chained to the hospital bed. And of course, she wakes up. Like it
starts with a recap of the first movie, and then
that's
it gets
true.
to her being
in last time on Stepmother.
Last time on the Stepmother, right? Exactly.
Oh, man. In case you forgot. So she wakes up in the hospital, and she's like, "I don't feel so good." Like it's really solid acting. And the nurse is like, "You gotta take your pills. Like, here you go. Yeah, your crazy pills. Bitch you out of your mind." And she's handcuffed to the bed, of course. She's been there for whatever amount of time. We get a scene from the world's worst cops, and they're talking to her doctor, and they're like, basically, fuck procedure. Like, don't worry about the fact whether or not she's crazy. All you need to worry about is handing her over to us. Like, we don't need to do an evaluation and all sorts of stuff, which is weird. But it's equally weird to see a cop with a full neck tattoo. Like, also seems a bit odd. Probably some Baltimore City cop. But yeah, so they seem to not like the idea of actually evaluating her. They're just like, fuck the law. We're only cops. So they're like, look, we gotta do our mental health screening. I mean, she's been there a number of days, I assume. I don't know why they had done it. And so Mena's talking to the doctor, and she's basically starts hallucinating, right? She's like, she sees Keith Sweat's son standing or sitting in the corner. She sees Marcus Houston.
Yeah, that's right.
How on earth were they able to get those two back for this sequel?
Their schedules opened up. That's fucked up,
man.
Well, I mean, I assume Marcus Houston was available right after dropping his wife off at the babysitter's, and then he can swing right by. Oh, he gonna see this.
Yeah.
Yeah, your wife is too young. Yeah, that's fucking strange. So she's hallucinating. I think her her facial expressions are so bad. I somehow think her performance is worse in this one. Right? Like, she's giving it her all, but it's somehow worse. She's like,
yeah, but you know why? You know why? Because like she's been kind of pumped up, right? Like as like, oh look, oh you were great in it. It was amazing, girl. You were phenomenal. It was a 10 out of 10 performance. You made people believe that she's 100,000% crazy, right? Like, so she probably was like, oh, well, this is my franchise now, right? Like it's time to put some stank on it. It's time to act, right? I mean, if I'm going to be sitting there, if this is going to be on Tubi next to The Great Debaters, I mean, I got to put in some work.
It's me and it's Denzel, like right there. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. So you see, Keith Sweat's son. He's like, I got the keys. I got the security keys. I got the keys to the whole place, right? And that's actually the security guard sitting there who's not teasing her with the keys, but she's hallucinating. So of course she's out of her fucking mind. So then the doctor's like, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. And
I didn't understand this part. Like, she just leaves. She just looks at her, like laughs, and then looks at her again, and then just smiles. I'm like, what's happening right now?
I feel like that's like the cousin of somebody who works on the script. They're like, you get a walk on. Like, don't worry about it. You got it.
Wasn't she the first chick?
Yeah,
it wasn't the same doctor.
No, it's the same nurse. Yeah, it's the same nurse.
Okay.
Like, look, don't worry about continuity. It's irrelevant. So she asked this security officer who looks like he could be like the RZA's cousin. He's like, hey, she's like, hey, can you get me some water? I'm dying of thirst. Her overacting in the talky parts really bothers me. I don't like when people pronounce words when they talk like this. Like, you don't talk like that. You seem weird. Stop doing that. White people say the whole word like this is how you sound. Like, you sound fucking ridiculous. I can't stand it. And she does it throughout the entire movie. She's talking like what she thinks, I don't know, like a proper white woman would talk like. It's very bizarre. So she asked for water. This numbskull, he walks over, he gives her the water, he tips it up to her face. I'd be like, the nurse will be back. You be all right. Like, I ain't going over there.
She could have got her own water. Like, she handcuffed to the bed.
Only one handcuff. One hand is cuffed.
I'm like,
yeah, that's true. I guess he was just too stupid to know that. She then moves the blanket, like, and it's weird because I thought she was gonna try to like entice him. She was like, nah, like she moved the blanket and she was like, dick punch, wow. She just hit him like right the dick for no reason. I was like, it's fucked up. And it worked. Like, my man went down like a sack of potatoes, and then she wrapped her legs around his head, and I assume murdered him. Not knocked him out, murdered. No, because he's alive later on. So I guess he didn't.
No, he's alive.
Yeah, that's right. He just got knocked out.
He's alive.
No, yo, I'm not gonna get beaten up by a single arm handcuffed Erica Mena. Like, that's not happening. No.
Yeah, he went unconscious in like 4 seconds.
She's very powerful.
That's not how that works at all.
No,
I don't think her leg.
I mean, it is. I mean, it is if it's an actual chokehold. Right, like I don't know what they would do. Like, I get what they were doing, right? But nah, yo, nah. I'm looking at it, and it just doesn't look. It looks silly. But you know what?
Understand.
It was the shot in the arm that the scene needed, right? Because it's going on for far too long. That's something that I'll probably be saying throughout the course of this.
It's going to be a thing.
So the nurse comes in, and or actually before the nurse comes in, Elizabeth sneaks out of her room. She gets the keys, by the way. She unhooks herself from the handcuffs. She sneaks out of the room. She finds a needle, already has something in it. She don't know what it is, and she's like, "Oh hell yeah, I'm gonna stab somebody." And she grabs the nurse who comes in the room. She grabs her from behind and sticks a needle in her neck, injects her with whatever the hell it is, just knocking her out immediately.
Well,
They said it's a sedative.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, well then that works.
Yeah, I'm sure a whole needle's vials worth of sedative in the human body won't have lasting damage to this woman because she is up in a matter of moments.
Well, it just need to knock her out for 8 minutes.
I don't
So
think
she's
Sedative
supposed to
works
be
that fast. Also.
right. Exactly.
She was
Like it's like how chloroform is shown in movies, right? Chloroform doesn't immediately knock you out, right? Like it takes a minute. Don't ask me why I know that. And I thought this woman was a killer, yo. I thought this woman was a killer. Like,
well,
like
she's killed over 6 people.
Right.
Yeah.
He said she's killed over 6 people. Like,
So 7.
She's killed over 6 people, Doc. Well, okay, so 7 people? Like, if it was like, if you're gonna say the number, just say the number, right? Or if it's literally the same thing as she's killed over 2 people. Well, yeah. Okay, I mean, like, you shouldn't kill anybody, but like,
Is it 50?
why would you
or
phrase
is
it that way?
Is it 3 or 50?
Right.
I'm confused. It could be.
Like, all right, yo. Like, people don't talk like that, yo. People don't talk like that.
I talk. Like
well, Chris Stokes thinks people talk like that.
Yeah, he's a film director. Are you? Can you even criticize him? You ain't never made a movie.
Wrote it and directed
Now, shut
and
up.
produced it.
Yeah, boom. He made 3 of these, right? For some reason. This is his Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. There you go. This is his Nolan verse. So yeah, so she gets out of the hospital. She gets to a hotel. And she calls
Get the money from.
I don't know. Like, I'm confused. Like, how does she afford to get like a fake ID? But she got all that shit. She got herself all dolled up, and she's like, "All right, I'm getting a fake ID. I'm out of here." Right? She assumes the ID or the identity of somebody else. She goes to the airport. As we all know, the airport is notorious for not checking people's IDs. Really, just letting strangers on planes. She's wearing the same outfit that all of the superheroes when they want to go incognito in the Marvel universe wear, a generic hat pulled down over their face. And she flies away. Good for her. The cops go to the doctor and they're like, how the fuck did you lose her? She was handcuffed to the bed. And the doctor's like, that's on me, dog. My bad.
He was
That's
like,
on
my
me.
bad. Yeah, I fucked up. Like,
That's on me?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Technically, they were kind of right.
Yeah, they were. Look,
I mean,
this will be
sure
the
they
last.
had
This will be the first and last time that happens throughout the entire fucking movie. These fucking Keystone cops. So one of the cops goes to the nurse, and another cop goes to the security guard, and they're asking him what happened. He's like, I don't know. She just wrapped her legs around my head, and I passed out. I mean, I was smiling, but like I passed out. You were gonna say something, Micah?
So they said, hey, she stole James John Johnston or whatever the dude's name is. She stole his wallet and his cell phone. If we track the cell phone, we may be able to find her, right? So they track it to a motel, and she leaves it there. And one of the cops goes up there and he goes to check. And you know he's a cop because his uniform says COP on it.
It's impossible to know that. It's impossible to know.
The shit says cop right above, right on his, right where you put your hand over your heart. It says cop, It says cop.
Maybe
like,
that's his name.
Nah, his name ain't cop.
That shit
his
really
name
says
ain't
cop. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, Michael.
His name
Cop.
ain't Carl Otis Powell, And his name ain't cop. Fuck.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
you don't know that. You don't know that. You hate it. So Elizabeth, she pops up in San Francisco. She goes to see her man. And this is the dude from the first movie, right? Like he was part of the first movie too. He was her second family, and she's got a son. And like he's like, "Oh, I'm just so happy to see you, girl. Like I don't know where you've been the last couple of weeks after you got stabbed." And she's like, "Oh, it's just so good to be home, with you and my son." That's not your son. Knock it off.
Well, they went to his old house. Remember, he was in a nice house. They went to the old house. The cops pull up. Cop pulls up, and some white woman answers the door, and he's like, "Nah,
yeah, you gotta get your diversity quota in." So this white woman answers the door, and she can't act for shit. You can tell she's somebody. You can tell she fucking somebody on the set because she can't act for a good goddamn. I've seen better acting in porn,
6 lines. If that. Yeah, she's like, oh, he moved out 2 weeks ago. And he moves to San Francisco because she wanted this particular house or something like that.
Right. Okay. Her house looks so generically designed, by the way, or decorated. It's horrible. It's just boring. So Elizabeth wakes up the next day. Her husband is there. Look, shout out to them for putting dark skinned people in this movie, though. I do like that. I appreciate that. Better than most. So she's super happy to be with him, and again, their son. But she's still having these like recurring dreams and stuff like that of recurring dreams of Marcus Houston, which is just a wild thing to say.
He
Cut
looks
to
like
one of
dope,
What's that?
Marcus Houston.
He looks like a dope. Marcus Houston looks like a dope. He's like like I forgot. Like he has this like dopey look about him, yo.
Maybe it's just for this movie.
I don't like this movie, yo. I really don't.
Now is he Batman?
Like,
is he Batman or was he Superman? Like which one in?
I don't know who he was. I get him and Omarion confused. I think he was Batman. He's Go Home Roger. That's his name.
Yeah, he's
Go
Roger.
Home Roger.
Yeah. He's
Omarion just is like he can just dance and sing. Like I don't think he was. He
was Batman, and Omarion wasn't in Immature. He was too young.
Yeah, and then there's like the light skinned one was Superman, and then the other one was Little Drummer Boy.
Are you serious?
But, yeah, I'm pretty sure. That was
What? It's Batman, Romeo. What the fuck is Superman from?
That sounds,
some shit
that's
like that. I don't
right.
know.
That's not right. I mean, look.
Batman,
it's a fair
Superman,
guess,
whatever.
right?
Like, I don't remember.
Like one guy's name is Batman, right? Like it's a fair guess.
No, but like, isn't the drummer? Isn't he like LDB or some shit like Little Drummer Boy? Like that's
LDB.
See?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Why do I know that? I don't know. My brain is ridiculous.
Why do you know that, nigga? What the fuck?
I don't know because I found it weird that there was a person going by Batman who doesn't live in the shadows. I found that very odd. And people listen to their music. I never did because fucking mature. I was too old for that. Then we get one of the greatest scenes of all time. Now I'm going to say something. And I mean this. I'm coming from a place of love. There are 4 cops in this scene. None of them can act. They're all terrible at their job. They give quite possibly one of the most ham-fisted things I've ever seen, the lines I've ever seen delivered in a movie. But one of these niggas looks like Chris from Insanity Check. Like, he just does. Like, I'm sorry, he looks just like Chris. He does, yo, he does. He does, you see it. He does, yo, he does.
The one in the white button-up.
Yeah, he does. He looks like
the one that was talking about, like, how hard it is to be a
black father, yo. Come on, yo.
Black father in the world and try not to be a statistic.
Yeah, because so let me set
crazy person that kills everybody.
Let me set the scene. This is fucking wild. So the 4 cops are talking, right? It's 2 black men, a white guy, and a black woman. 4 cops talking in a bar, and they're talking about how messed up it is that Marcus Houston's character, like, he lost his wife because remember she danced and then she died. Yeah, if you remember.
Right. I fucking forgot about that.
Died. Sorry, this is fucking hilarious. She danced herself to death. That's a part of the story of this trilogy. It just is. I didn't make it up.
It really is.
Yeah, she died from dancing, as you do, and so he was single, but he had this son, and they're like, man, it must have been hard. You find that, you lose your wife and you think you found a woman of your dreams, and she's a crazy person and she's trying to kill you. Oh, but they don't know until it's too late, and they're all laughing about it, whatever. And then the one guy's like, yeah, it would be so hard. As a single black father, it would be very difficult to have to deal with that. And then you find out like all these hard things about her. And then the other guy chimes in, yeah, I agree. As a single black father, this would be really difficult. And then the white guy puts his hand on the black guy's shoulder and he's like, you are a good father. Yo, it's a fucking wild scene. Chris Stokes, Chris Stokes 100% hates the person he has to co-parent with. 100%.
It reeks of like bitches ain't shit, right? Like this whole movie reeks of it. And if you didn't like get it, like this is it, right? Like this is the leave black men alone because we are we don't want to be labeled as statistics, and we're really good fathers, and even the white man acknowledges that we're good fathers, and black women, you're just psychopaths. You're psychopaths and home wreckers, and you don't know what you want, and like it's
there's a huge through line of black women really being kind of dogged out. Like this guy's this guy's wife. The new husband, I don't even remember his name, but the new husband, his wife left him. She just bounced for a decade.
She just left.
For
a
a
decade,
like,
yo. A decade. That's a whole generation, yo.
Yeah,
Like, what the fuck?
It's a bit of a weird. Why? Oh yeah, this guy Kevin, like it's a bit weird, right? Like she leaves for a decade, like their daughter died, and then she was just like, I'm out. And they're like, oh, well, she was suffering and everything else. I get all that, but it's just really weird that the narrative is that she left her family for a decade and just walked out on them.
Right,
and
and
that
they didn't know where the fuck she went.
Right.
It
She
was
didn't have a
weird.
nervous
Like,
breakdown or something like that. They were just like, nah, she bounced and fuck her. It's like it's a very weird narrative to push. But I think you're right. Like this entire cop scene is kind of like the top of the heap of like pointing out. Yeah, I think maybe the director or the writers have a real it's the same person. Has a real problem with relationships with black women. Like that's what it reads to me as well. It's very strange.
Yeah, so now go ahead and defend this movie now, YouTube commenters. Do it.
No.
I dare you.
That's still great. Still,
You defend
still
this
a great
movie. You defend this movie. You hate black women. How about that?
Somebody going there
Stupid
like,
ass.
I just finished reading Women Deserve Less, and I agree. It's a great book. So at a certain point, Kevin comes home, and for some reason, Elizabeth, or what is the name she goes by now? Diane. She for some reason she's dressed like a fucking Stepford wife. It's very weird. And Kevin is like, yeah, I had to run some errands today. I didn't go to work, and it seems like he's about to be like mad at her because he has something to do. But he's like, he gets down on one knee. He's wearing what seems to be some sort of weird American kimono shirt, and he proposes to her, and she gets
I thought that was like a karate gi, yo. I thought that was the top of a karate gi. Like, what the fuck is he wearing, yo? It's like a karate gi with a collar on it, yo.
Yeah, it's a very modern shirt. It's a very modern shirt. I don't think I have the coolness to rock that shirt. I don't think he does either.
Right. Look, I'm not just look, I don't know anything about fashion. I'm wearing a Captain America shirt right now, right? So
My shirt's
I'm
from
not,
Target.
I'm not here to
who am I to say?
Right. I'm not here to disparage but it just looked weird. It just looked like he just got finished like sparring with Michael Jai White or some shit. You know what I mean?
Is it Velcro? How does it button up? Or is it like do you just pull it over?
No, I think it's probably.
I think it's a pullover.
Yeah, it's a pullover.
That's a nice shirt.
So him and his wife, or excuse me, him and his son, they are there as he proposes. And she of course says yes. Smash cut to a party. I guess I don't know if it's like congratulations on getting engaged party or just like a random party. But I get the feeling it's a congratulations party. Again, this dude's outfit choices are wild.
This is wild. This nigga, he's just like what's his name from Street Fighter? You know, the new one. What's the nigga with the top hat in the new Street Fighter? In Street Fighter 5?
Fucking G, the president of the world.
No, not G. The nigga with the K.
Oh, J. Oh, JP. Yeah, he does look like JP. Yo, what the fuck?
Like, this is weird.
It's very strange. It's super.
He's
strange.
got like a beige. What is that? A beige fucking turtleneck with a vest or with a blue vest?
That shirt looks so tight. It's like a turtleneck. It looks so fucking tight. It looks like it snaps together between the legs. Like it looks.
Yeah, yo. It looks like some shit you wear right before you go underwater. You know what I mean? Like it's the fucking scuba shit, yo. God damn.
Yeah, it's a bit
oh
of
my god.
It's certainly a choice. But he's there with his best friend. who is trying to look out for him, and he's like, man, it's been real fast. Like, maybe been a couple weeks, couple months. Like, y'all getting married. And he's sprung, and so he's just like, when you find love and things are all perfect in your world, maybe you'll get married. But you're going through your second divorce, and you're in therapy, and this shirt is cutting off my breathing.
Are these people friends, yo?
Right. You was shading the shit up this nigga. Like, yeah, you lose ass nigga. Maybe
we poke fun at each other. We poke fun at each other, but there's some lines that we just do not cross. Yo,
like you got engaged. Congratulations. Like, nah, nigga, fuck you. Okay,
right. Fuck you. You couldn't make your marriage work, bitch. Well, neither could you, you dumb fuck. Your wife left you a decade ago. Remember?
Yeah.
And apparently you didn't get divorced. So
you didn't even sign you didn't even go sign abandonment documents? Come on, man. Sitting there pining for her in your peanut butter and jelly outfit? Knock it the fuck off. So they hate each other. Okay, like that's my underlying story. They actually hate each other.
This nigga's wearing a throw rug. What is this? What is this jacket?
I don't know what. I don't know what.
Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? What is the temperature? This dude is wearing a skin tight shirt with a vest buttoned all the way up. This other dude's got a throw rug on, and like, is it 80 or is it 12 degrees outside?
I mean, look. To be fair, it is in San Francisco, so it could be either or. Right, it could be really warm, or it could be really fucking cold for California.
There's people out there with like their arms out in dresses. Come on, like pick a season. Pick a season. So his best friend is like, hey, his best friend's name is Chris, by the way. He's like, hey, is it cool? I'm gonna go stay at a hotel while you guys plan the wedding or whatever, which is weird. Like, why the fuck are you staying in town? But he's like, I'll be hanging out here. I'm going to go to a hotel. And he's like, nah, don't worry about it. You're my best friend. You can stay in the house with me. Let me check with the old ball and chain, see what she says. Smash cut to Diane being like, fuck no, that nigga can't stay in our house. Get the fuck out of here. Which is a totally normal response from a human being. And then dude comes up with like a really wild response. He's like, well, we're not married, so technically it's my house.
It's still my house. Oh yeah, this marriage is gonna work out.
Yeah, you can't do that. Yeah. Here's what you don't do in a marriage: tit for tat. Like, that does not work. I like to keep score. That's how I know I'm winning in my marriage. Okay, well, you're gonna win yourself right to a yes.
All right. Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? Technically, it's still my house. Nah, the second you broke that ring out, it was a fucking wrap for you. Like, knock it off. And she's crazy, right? So she's all upset over what I would argue is nothing. And she's like, fine. He can stay his ass here. Like, all right. And then she's like, well, he needs to be gone, after the wedding. And Kevin is like, yeah, of course. Like, with the implication of like, yeah, I'm going to be blowing your back out. I don't want this nigga here. Like, duh, of course. She's like, fine. Again, her like, overacting is weird.
Thanks, baby. He's like, thanks, baby. And I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Maybe we'll have a baby one day and we'll have a little girl. Oh, and we can name her after me, Elizabeth. Huh? What? Like, that's literally what they said in this movie. Literally what they said. What the fuck? Hey, thanks for letting my boy stay in my house that I'm also letting you stay in.
Technically.
And as compensation for that, maybe I'll put a baby girl in you. And then we can name her after me, my real fake name. Like this is what's going on in this movie, yo.
She says, maybe we can name her after
talks
me.
Like this.
She says, maybe we can name her after me Elizabeth. And he's like, what? Like, that's not your name. And she goes, like, Queen Elizabeth. She's going to be a princess.
She says, like Princess Diana.
Right, at first. I'm like,
what? No, I'm like, no, you said Elizabeth, bitch. What you talking about?
Princess Diana's name is not Elizabeth.
I mean, you saying that, but there's no way to know that.
Yo, this is
It's unknowable. It's unknowable. And so, like, again, he doesn't really question it. Like, he questions it for like a hot second, and he's like, okay, that was a good enough pivot. Yeah, I'm an idiot. It's fine. Then we see a scene of Diane playing video games with her son. And like, she's like, oh, I love video games. I'm so good at video games. And the son is like, you basically like, you old, you can't play video games. She's like, you're right. The games were very different when I was younger. I don't know how to beat anything. I don't know how to play any games. I was like, what is this dialogue? Like, why did you suddenly concede that in a really weird way? This is just really strange.
You're right. Video games were really hard, were way easier back when you were a kid. No, they weren't, you young piece of shit. No, they weren't. They were fucking hard. And it was like all pattern recognition.
I hate when people play video games in movies because they always have the weirdest sounds. The shit they were playing fucking Galaga, yo.
Right.
On their phone.
They were playing Galaga. They were playing one of the earliest video games ever on their $1,500 phones via Bluetooth, going against each other, playing Galaga, yo. All right.
I don't know what they're playing. That's what it sounded like.
I mean, in fairness, I really like Galaga. Is that on the iPhone? Look, those are the only games I can play. I can't play anything else. I'm stuck. So you find out through the son, because he got a big mouth, that he had a sister. That sister died, and that was the impetus for why his mother left. Okay, and so the next day, now that Diane / Elizabeth knows this, she goes up to Kevin and she's like, "Keep it secret, nigga!" And she holds a knife up to him like, "Ah!" And he was like, "Yeah, the secret is I had a daughter and she died, and it's a really fucking rough part of my life, and I don't like to talk about it." And she's like, "There are no secrets in here." And he's like, "Okay, but like my daughter died. Like, why are you being such a bitch about it?" She's like, "But I'm here for you. Like, I kill you. I'm here for you." Like, all right. Like, I'm not going anywhere. Communication's key. I'm like you're saying all this and you're using a fake name. What the hell are you talking about? Then we see Uncle Chris playing football with the little boy, and he's asking him about his soon-to-be stepmom. Oh, does she seem cool or whatever? And the little kid's like, "Yeah, I think she's awesome. Like, she's great. She can't play anything but Galaga, but she's awesome." Then we see Mena show up and talk to Chris in a very threatening way of like, "Oh, thanks for being here. I wish you were fucking dead. Get out of my house," type of shit. I mean, it's all very much implied. Then something happens that I cannot abide, which is after she wakes him up, just going into his room and waking Uncle Chris up in a weird way. This nigga walks out of the bedroom and these motherfuckers are singing "Get Up on a Saturday Morning, Baby." And his response is my response, which is, "The fuck is wrong with y'all?" And they're like, come on, get turned. It's Saturday morning. And I'm like, if this is what getting turned is, I don't want anything to do with this. I hate everything about this scene. Nobody can dance. Everyone is lame. And this music is terrible. I'd like to go back to bed.
Like, is this a real song?
They have like people singing it after the fact that
they had the nerve to record a song and pretend like this is a real thing that people, that normal human beings do.
You don't do this? You and your family?
No.
No, don't lie. Don't lie.
No.
Don't lie. Don't
No,
lie.
I'm not.
Nah.
Good.
I can 100% see your family doing this, Micah. 100%.
No, you
now,
cannot.
Look, no, I can see that. However, I can see you having the reaction of Uncle Chris. I don't want to do this.
No. See, this is, you don't know, you know my wife. You don't know my wife. All right. If she had her druthers, she would sleep until 11:59 a.m. if she could help it. She ain't getting up on a Saturday morning, baby, and doing nothing. Get out of here.
Well, she's missing an opportunity.
Saturday is her day of sleep.
She's missing an opportunity. I mean, they seemingly are almost dressed for a white party. Like, everyone's really happy. This is what black people do on Saturday mornings. I assume that's what all of y'all do.
Yeah, get ready to go to the club, Get ready to go to the club. That's what you do. That's what you do. When you get up on a Saturday morning, baby, you're dressing all white and eat pancakes. I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was dumb, It was dumb.
The scene is
dumb
very
and
weird.
Pointless, and it extended this movie an extra 7 minutes that didn't need to be there.
You got to get turned up, man. You got to get turned. That's what I learned. And so after they convince Uncle Chris to like do his little fucking shimmy, he gets involved.
Yeah, two-step.
Yeah, look, that's all you need. That's all you need. Just drinking a two-step. There's a number of sort of montage scenes of her and Chris getting along as he's helping her pick out her wedding dress and pick out stuff for the wedding. He's the best man, but I guess also the maid of honor as well.
the maid, right, because she ain't got no fucking friends. She done killed all of them.
She was like, I don't have any friends to talk about. And for some reason, nobody finds that weird. But okay. So Chris starts to suspect that like maybe she's not all she's cracked up to be, right? Like that maybe this person's got some stories to tell that are a little bit different than the one she has. He invites Diane / Elizabeth to lunch out, and then he confronts her and he's like, "Boom, haha! Like this isn't you. This is a fake ID."
He's like, you're from Houston, right? Well, when I mentioned the Cougars, you said go Cougars. And since we all know that there's only one high school in Houston, Texas, you would know that high school's mascot is the Lions and not the Cougars. Obviously, you're obviously lying. You couldn't possibly have gone to another high school in Houston, the small town of Houston, Texas.
Yeah, no. And you know what? He double nailed her because he went to that school. He went to BS High. Now what? And what?
In a previous scene, he's like she goes, "Yeah, I'm from Houston." He says, "Oh, home of the Cougars," but he didn't say what high school. In this scene, he says, "Oh, you went to Fairmont High School, and home of the Cougars." It's like if you did know you went to Fairmont, it's like the Lions or the Tigers or whatever the fuck. I'm like, again, you just assumed.
Yeah,
but
he nailed it.
The only high school.
Yeah,
okay,
he nailed it. Don't worry, he's a private investigator.
We found out that he was a cop because he has that conversation with the kid earlier, and the kid is like, "Are all cops as nosy as your ass, nigga?" or whatever the fuck he says. And that's when we find out that he's a private investigator because it's a thriller. Every thriller has a private investigator.
It's a passion of his. He can't stop investigating.
Yeah, he created a PR firm.
More on that later.
Fucking sense. All right.
No, it doesn't. So
dumbass. Who the fuck wrote? Oh, I know who wrote this, but
So while she's sitting there, she starts daydreaming of the guy who like murdered her son that she murdered the very first time. She starts freaking out. And she admits like, yeah, I stole this ID. I used to be with this one guy, but he was abusive and crazy. And so I stole this ID and I ran away. Please don't tell everybody. I'm just trying to live my life. I just want what's best for me. And you know, your boy Kevin and his kid, like, you know, just give me a hug. Like, I'm sorry. I'm going to tell him. I'm going to tell him the whole name thing. And she goes to tell him, or she pretends like she's going to go tell him. And then their son comes in and it's like, hey, Mom, you know, I need to talk to you. And she's like, okay. And they go into the other room and this 14-year-old kid who looks 11 is like, yeah, my girlfriend wants to fuck. And she's like, whatever happened to sex between two people is beautiful. I can't believe. Oh, I let my crazy out. Yeah.
She said sex before marriage. What's going on in this world? Like, did you not fuck? Like, I don't know. There was no fucking point at all.
Yeah,
there was no point.
I didn't get it.
And why did he want to talk to her directly? I didn't understand.
You can't talk to his dad, I guess, about this.
Okay.
You can't talk to your dad about sex? What the fuck?
Did you talk to your father about sex, Micah?
Yes, it was a very, very awkward conversation.
Okay, then. There you go. That's why he was like, I'd rather talk.
Did it.
He's like, I'd rather talk
to
my
this
future
complete
stepmother.
Stranger.
Yeah.
I'd rather talk to this complete stranger.
Absolutely.
Makes sense.
No, it's way easier. It's way easier to talk to somebody who doesn't have any emotional investment in you. Yeah, absolutely. It's like the first time I bought condoms. I was nervous. So I found the checkout lady who looked the least like she would give a fuck. I found an old Asian woman because I refused to get into a line with an older black woman. Absolutely not, because I could feel the religious eyes of judgment on me. I was like, nah, give me this Asian lady. She don't give a fuck. She hate everybody. Like, yeah, she was right. She was like, ring, who cares? Get out of here. Best of luck.
It's weird being fucking nervous buying condoms.
I know, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Fuck. Yeah. It was just the first time, and after that, I was like, I'm gonna get lucky. Who cares? Like, yeah, fine.
You should be high fiving me. God damn it. I'm being responsible.
I'll take this 5-pound pail of lube and
now which condoms did you buy?
I bought I got the Durex like for her pleasure pack. It's like,
so you didn't go straight to the Magnums because
no,
yeah, of course. You gotta go straight Magnums like every other insecure little dick nigga named Micah. Like you gotta.
Did you really buy Magnum condoms?
Yes, I did. And look, here's a pro.
And how many times did you tie them off and use them again?
Here's the thing though. They know that people do that, so Magnum condoms aren't really Magnum condoms. Like it's just a marketing ploy because they know that like dudes
really?
Like yeah, like they have like actual like big dick condoms, but they aren't just the Magnum brand. It's like Magnum XL or some shit, right? Because they know that like dudes aren't gonna be like, I'll have the 5-incher, please. Right? Like nobody. Like
here's the thing about condoms. You know what I mean? They're all the same length. They're all the same length.
You don't need a condom. Like you don't. They show people putting their entire fist, their entire arm in those things, and people are like, I need the bigger one. No, you don't. Knock it off.
The only problem is like sometimes the opening might be a little too tight. That's happened before. I have a big dick.
I'm very strong.
Are you very strong?
I'm very strong. But that happens. Like sometimes the opening is just too tight, so you do have to get like a slightly bigger one. But that's about it. You can a condom can fit like a fucking gallon of water in it.
Right, yo, you're fine.
It's not like you're not gonna rip it. Like, it's ridiculous.
Like, oh no, I need the
Apparently, Magnum XL condoms are 30% larger than standard condoms, and are tapered at the base.
Yeah, I like whoever's bragging on that.
I would much rather. I would much rather keep talking about condoms than this fucking movie.
Well, here's the problem: nobody's using condoms in this movie. And look,
everyone has sex in the movie.
Yeah, it is weirdly like asexual. Like it kind of is.
Even the first one.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like I am surprised by that. Like I feel like one of the ways you got to like get these guys to get on the hook is like you gotta you're crazy, which means the sex has got to be crazy too, which means it's got to be good. That's why these guys are buying houses and giving up all their Zam coin to you like in the first movie.
God damn it, I forgot all about that stupid shit.
I forgot that, man.
Make sure you buy Zamcoin. I made hundreds of thousands of dollars. By the way, I work at a
man. Oh, God.
Fucking terrible. So we find out, like, they're hanging outside, and this super fine woman rolls up to the house, and you're like, who's this? This woman named Janet Smith. And Janet is like, hey, bitch, that's my man. That's my husband. And like, oh shit, Janet's back, y'all. Janet's been gone for 10 years.
Yo, we've been doing this show for 10 years.
She left she left almost right after our first episode. She was like,
that's fucking insane, yo. What the fuck? Like, I just tip out for 10 years. Like, well, I think I'm gonna get out. And then just show up a decade later, like, yo, what the fuck are you doing?
Like, I need to see our son. No, you don't.
Like, no, you lost that privilege.
I can't imagine.
Yo, she left in a cab and came back in an Uber, yo. Like, that's how long ago that shit was.
The modes of transportation are wildly different.
Oh, Jesus Christ. How does she know that that's where they were?
Yeah, that was my question, too.
Look them up?
I guess. Like, but if she could find him that easy, why couldn't these
cops didn't know where the fuck they left? Like, the cops were like, where did he go? I don't know. Fucking.
Yeah, they're not even, they were looking for him and they can't find, like, yo, he's a citizen and he's not a criminal. I'm sure he has a forwarding address that he did with the United States Postal Service, for God's sake. He didn't move to fucking China. And so, Elizabeth is like freaking out. She goes in the bathroom and she's just like, bitch, don't go crazy. She's looking at herself in the mirror like, don't wild out. Don't wild out. Elizabeth, don't wild out. And Chris, his best friend, comes in. He's like, who the fuck is Elizabeth? She's like,
like oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm just an innocent person. I have no idea. And so it's weird because, again, is Chris really Kevin's friend? Because he's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like, but all I know is now that Janet's back, you better leave because, blah, blah, blah.
I thought she was hallucinating that scene, and then he didn't disappear. And I was like, oh, that nigga really said that shit. What the fuck?
It was really weird, yo. It's a really weird scene. Again, I'm not so sure that they're actually friends. Then we see Kevin talking to Janet, and he's like, yo, you walked out of my life and our son's life 10 years ago. Like, what the fuck is your problem? Yeah, no, that seems like a valid criticism. I don't really have a problem with that. Because as a single black father, it is not an easy thing to do to raise a child in this world alone without a woman to be by your side.
And while not falling into being a statistic and a stereotypical father.
Yes, like these white men I see walking around, even though they don't get called out for it. But as a single, handsome black father with 5 kimonos in his closet, I have a problem with this. And she's like, listen, I look like a young Robin Givens, so you should probably take me back. And he's like, I just can't do it. Not right now. And so she leaves. And Kevin is trying to explain to Diane, like, nah, see, she's crazy for coming back, but I love you. And of course, she's not really trying to hear that. And then she calls him Eddie by mistake because she starts hallucinating. And she goes, my head is all over the place. I don't know.
How old is the guy?
Right.
How old is the guy playing Chris, yo? Because he's got way too many lines in his face.
Nah, he's probably late 30s, mid 30s.
Probably no, he's like 40. He's like 45.
45.
He was born in 78. Yeah, he was born in 78.
He looks good for 45.
All right, he does look good for 45, but like the lines in his face give it away, is what I'm saying.
I mean, how old is Erica?
He was in a roll bounce. She's in her late 30s, I think.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, that don't count, right? Like she was like I don't count. No. Right? She got all the lines ironed out of her face.
Right. I was gonna say you about to say some ignorant shit. Go ahead. Her face. I was about to say something. Is in her mid 30s. Her face now is in the mid 30s. Yeah, she's 100 years old, but she has, she's like the witch in Snow White. Like she's just gonna be perpetually young until they figure this shit out. So yeah, he's trying to reassure her that he's not gonna dump her and leave her for Janet. She's coming off real crazy. But for some reason this nigga just don't see it.
Chris is an idiot.
Yeah,
he's a massive idiot. He's a fucking moron.
Chris offers to drive Janet home or drive her to her hotel, and they end up chatting in the lobby or what have you, because it was probably just cheaper to film there than to rent a room. Reality. They're both dressed as if they're in a very fancy audition to be a blood. But they're talking, and he's like, listen, I don't trust this woman. She seemed crazy, which is fair because she does seem crazy. And he's like, I did some research. She got a fake name. She said she was running away from her ex, blah, blah, blah. And Janet's like, well, that's not so bad. I mean, I left for 10 years. I'm a real piece of shit. But she just changed her name to run away from a man who was abusing her. How bad could she be? I'm like, one, yeah, you are a piece of shit. Like I don't know, man. I kind of doubled down on figuring out whether this woman is crazy too. So she doesn't believe it. She just thinks that like she's being a bitch to her just because like she's coming back in their life, and she kind of understands it. But she's trying to be reasonable. Janet is a reasonable individual, except when it comes to staying in a marriage. So the next day, they're sitting at the table. It's Chris and the family, and they make this dude hold hands like before dinner. No, I'm going to a hotel. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not praying over your white fake pears in your on your table.
Yeah, I didn't like that design choice at all. That just looks weird.
No,
that's fucking weird.
Again, this is
this is a show house for like a realtor office.
Yeah,
like, you know how they have like apartments where they just like they put the furniture in. That's what this house is.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Oh, they are pairs. My dumbass thought there was just a bunch of candles in the middle of the table. Like, why do they have fucking 7 white candles in the middle of the table?
Look, that would have made more sense. That would have made more sense. Yeah, 7 pairs is just fucking weird.
It's weird. 7 pairs painted white, or are they just plastic white?
I think they're just plastic white pairs.
I didn't. Who decorated this? Like, what the fuck?
A person with little to no taste. So then Elizabeth straight up threatens Chris, and she's like, "You better stay out of my way, because I could destroy your life. Because you're the one who's had 2 divorces, and you're sad, and you miss your wife. You never know what could happen." I was like, "Call the police." Call the police.
I would like to take I would like to take this time to point out that this thriller is not very thrilling. This is like it's just going on and on and on. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, this character is not like interesting to me, man. Like, she's not like she's making like just because you like play some intense, some slightly more intense music in scenes where she's alone with one other person, like that doesn't make her interesting, man. Like that doesn't make her threatening. Like she's not doing crazy shit. She's talking to herself. Guess what? Everybody talks to themselves when they're in the car. That don't mean they're fucking crazy, right? Like this is not.
Wait, you talk to
Like,
yourself
what are
in
we
the car?
doing? What are we doing? A lot, yes.
Talk
Yeah,
the whole
of
time.
course. No, of course. No, the sign of crazy is that you answer yourself back. Like that's the crazy shit. Like you start answering yourself back out loud. Nah, you might be crazy.
Nigga, I got 2 kids. You know.
I know.
When one of them is just like your daughter. So you know.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah, trust me, buddy. You ain't seen nothing yet. He's still a baby. wait till his ass got opinions. All right then. So back at her apartment or hotel room. He's so mad. Back at her hotel room, I guess. Diane shows up to talk to Janet, and she's like, "Yeah, I just came over here to chat it up and tell you don't ever come around my family again, bitch. I'll kill you." And she's like, whoa, what are you talking about? Like, relax. And she's like, look, don't ever come around. Kevin don't want you here. I don't want you here. Your son hates your guts. Just leave. Beat it. Later on, she comes back home, and Marcus Houston and Keith Sweat's son are sitting on the couch. Incidentally, it's not really them. It is Kevin and his son, and they're all keying it up with Janet. And she's trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. She says, "Are you guys trying to ambush me?" She's getting super mad. And she's like, she doesn't understand what's happening. And apparently Kevin is like, "You told her to come over here." Like she don't even remember because she's, her other personality told Janet to come over to the house and so they could talk it through. See, Micah? That's acting. Acting.
No, it's not, yo.
Nah,
it's
you ain't
annoying.
Right nah,
Yeah,
you. Just
there. One thing irritated me, and it's a very small thing, right?
One?
No, there was, it's a very small thing, but like when I'm watching stuff, like little things piss me off. Like when she parks her car in the driveway, she can't fully park it in the driveway straight. It's like halfway out in the street. Every time she's parked her fucking truck. Because it's like a single drive. I guess she can't park it next to the Porsche that her husband drives.
Yeah, he's rich.
I think it's a Porsche. He just fucking bought a house on a whim. But she can't park her car completely. And it's just kind of crooked in the driveway. It really pisses me off. I saw it in the beginning, and then she pulled into the driveway again and did the same shit. I don't like it. Makes me angry.
Just park on the street.
Like I would call it HOA on her ass if I could. Like your fucking car is parked crooked. Fuck out of here.
You're ruining the neighborhood. You people. So after having a private conversation with her future husband about this, she's trying to like calm down that this woman is in her house, even though she totally forgot. He seems to be wearing some sort of soccer jersey, baseball shirt. A lot of bold choices, and she's like, "Fine, we'll
all
accept
his
her."
shirts are like incredibly tight. Like, why the fuck is this nigga wearing skin tight clothes all the time?
I mean, look, I get it.
Also, little things that annoy me.
I work out. You getting this medium shirt? Like that's what you're getting. Like, knock it off.
Little things that annoy me. You don't wear a white undershirt underneath a white shirt.
I'm not a fan of that look, yo. I'm not a fan of that look.
It is so fucking annoying, yo. Just put a black wife beater on and wear your white shirt, or don't wear an undershirt.
Wait, why would you wear a white? Why would you wear a white or a black wife beater? Like it would show up more.
No, it would not. No, it wouldn't, because it was closer to his skin tone, so it would blend in better.
Just don't wear one. Just don't wear one.
No, the black would show through the white.
Yeah, nah, yo,
like,
do some
or just wear like a regular T-shirt. Don't wear a wife beater. It'll be a little less over. Like,
you know what you do? You know what you do? You don't wear an undershirt under a shirt. You work out, do some push-ups so your chest doesn't look terrible. That's what you do. I used to suffer from bird chest. I used to have a bird chest. I get it. Now I don't. I got like a slightly bigger bird chest, but that's okay. It's all right. The Keystone Cops over at in this story, and Chris, he's there. Shout out to him. And hey, this nigga looks just like him. They're trying to figure it out. They're like, how are we gonna find? Is she in San Francisco? There's no way. I mean, it's not like San Francisco has like a police force that we could probably, try to help track down. Nah, don't worry about it. We're just going to be confused.
Are these people the FBI?
I don't know what the fuck they are. What city are they in right now?
They're in San Francisco.
What kind of jurisdiction do these fucking cops have? That they could just gallivant all over the United States.
What state did the last movie take place in? Where were they at?
I want to say it was like Atlanta, right? Like probably.
Was it? I thought it was like some weird fucking place.
And if it was like the question is where did it take place? Because they obviously took her to a hospital there,
right?
Wherever the first movie took place. God,
yeah, they don't have a jurisdiction. They get to do whatever they want. It's like Beverly Hills Cop. Like they just go down from Detroit. They just get a pass. Yeah, they're like not working. Just trying to find somebody. Then we get a scene.
There's no Wikipedia for the first one either.
0% surprise. Erica Mena's character decides like, hey, I need to go out of town for a couple of days. Put on a new wig, do my thing, rustle up some other new guy. And so she goes out of town, tells her family she's going to do some other thing. She meets up with this guy. I assume they have sex before marriage that night. And he's just there. I don't know. He's some light-skinned dude. He don't really serve a purpose. But she uses that time to then sneak back and then straight up murder Chris.
What was the point of this show? What was the point of this?
I don't understand why she went. I don't understand why she went.
Her dressing like Sasha Banks, trying to get with the dude Christian Keys or whatever the fuck his name is from all those other bad movies. Like, what is the point of this? Is this setting up? Is this setting up part 3? Are they Iron Man 2ing this?
Yeah, they might be. They might be. Like maybe that dude is the he's the guy, right? He's the next victim.
He's the next Mark.
Yeah. Let me see if his face is on the cover of the third. Damn, they don't even put a dude on the third movie. They don't even have a dude on the cover of the third movie. That's how many dudes.
Yeah, because you know exactly what you come to see this for. You come to see Erica Mena try to. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah,
I think it is.
Him. Yep.
Wow. They had this trilogy planned out.
Yeah, this is like the MCU. Like they're not messing around.
Oh,
Micah, you should be impressed by that. Like, come on.
You know what? I do appreciate the fact that they had forethought to think about stuff like this from 1 to 2 to 3. It is more than what I can say for like Star Wars, right? Like they didn't. Yeah,
this is better than Star Wars, is what Micah's saying.
That's what I just said. This is better than Star Wars. It's got overly made up people in it that look like otherworldly.
Yeah. No.
And yeah, I don't know.
Why
My
was he
brain hurts.
bleeding when she strangled him? Why was he bleeding from his face?
Because it's like the old kung fu movies, right? Like when they die, like the blood comes through their teeth, like that's how you know they're dead.
And is she really that
pass
strong?
out.
Why does she have superhuman strength?
She's big, and
That nigga's not exactly
strong.
small. He's not exactly.
No, he's a big dude.
Guy.
Yeah, he's a bigger dude.
Yeah, so like, okay, she's
very strong. She's very strong. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe stop hating, Terrence. Just enjoy the masterclass that is this film. So apparently, after she kills him, after she kills Chris, she writes a fake suicide note, and
in his handwriting.
Sure.
Yeah, she writes it down. Yeah, she writes it down. She doesn't type it. It's not typed or whatever. Yeah, she wrote it.
Yeah.
And put it in his pocket.
Because that's where you keep a suicide note. Right up here with my handkerchief. So
yeah.
Christopher Stokes is a wild dude. So in his very, very convenient suicide note, incidentally read by a cop who has the sixth sense of a piece of wood. It's like, yeah, man, it's crazy, dog. I am really in love with your ex-wife. We were smashing. And I just felt really bad. So I'm going to kill myself. That's the note from me, your best friend, not Erica Mena, but Chris.
So did she leave to establish an alibi? Is that it?
I guess so. It's not really said. But she was also trying to, hook up with that dude too.
Yeah, all right.
Before marriage.
I guess she left her phone and everything. I don't know, man. Because can't you? Whatever. Sure. This cop read this letter like he was in second grade. It was like, come on, man. Okay.
Today, Junior. So they're all sad, and Kevin is rightfully sad that his best friend has been killed, and she's like, "Hey, look, why don't we just get married in the courthouse?" And he's like, "I'm sorry, Diana, I can't think of that right now. I just lost my best friend. He showed up dead." And
in my house,
right? And she's just like, "Oh, I guess that's more important than getting married." Okay. I really don't like her overacting. It really bothers me. Then fast forward.
No, don't fast forward yet. Since this happened in your home, I need to know what you were doing between 2 and 3 last night. I was here asleep. And then this nigga gets offended that he's being questioned by the cop. This nigga died in your house from 2 to 3. You were in your house from 2 to 3, and you are offended that he's asking you that he might think you might be a suspect?
Yeah. How dare him? How dare him?
How dare you?
I
can't, yo. Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Yeah, I was like, yo, my nigga, he literally hung himself in your own house. Hung himself in your house. Like, y'all are going to be the suspects because y'all were all here. Like, your son, But he said she was out of town. But like, can't you? Well, she didn't make phone calls when she was back in the house, I guess. Hey, you didn't hear anyone come back in the home?
He didn't hear his best friend strangled to death. I'm guessing this particular chokeout did not happen within the 4 seconds that it did in the beginning of the movie. This nigga didn't make a struggle. Like, is she a part of the Assassin's Creed Guild or some shit? Like, can she just fucking silently take people out?
She does Batman level takedowns too. Like, you're not going to be able to.
She killed him. Okay, she killed him. All right, he was sitting down, so she had to lift his ass up, had to
drag his ass across the floor,
throw the rope over, yank his ass up. Didn't hear none of it. Shut up.
He's got a son also. She also has a son.
No, nobody heard anything. Let me tell you something, yo. No, you know what? Hurry up, yo. Hurry up and get through this movie. I hate this movie. I hate it. This is bad, man.
All right. Now, in fairness, in fairness, in 2 weeks, we're going to do the third one.
Look, I tried to get out of this one.
Yeah,
I really did.
He was going to lie and say he was out of town. This nigga is a piece of shit.
Apparently, that's a rock solid alibi.
Yeah, in fairness, that's true. It's true. You could commit a fucking murder. You're fine. No one will even check. So Janet is back at her hotel room. She's chilling, looking all good. Someone knocks on the door. She just opens it. She don't look at the people. And Erica Mena comes in and just punches her literally 3 times directly in the face.
Right. That's like, Jesus Christ. God damn.
It was like bob and weave. Like, stop using your head for fucking target practice. And after getting punched in the face 3 times and getting thrown on the couch, she goes, "Give it up, Elizabeth. The police are on their way." And they just have a good old fashioned to-be lady fight. She does at one point, Erica Mena punches her and she does that like almost like Tyler Perry level spin, like and she spins into the wall.
She falls into the wall.
And then Erica Mena hits her with like a vase or a lamp or something, throws her around. It's a pretty good fight as it goes. She's doing the the hardcore fight where you just like you punch a person's head one direction, you punch it back the other direction. And then she hit her with like a lamp. Yeah, this is as good as any Rocky movie to me. Excellent choreography. And she fixes her hair.
She literally smacked her in the face with a vase as hard as she possibly could. Yeah.
Yeah.
How is she like? I mean, I guess it wouldn't kill her, but
she'd be fucked up.
Yeah, her face is going to be like fractured, and she comes back at the end with just like a little
spoiler alert
bump on the top of her head. Yeah, fuck it. She shoots her in the back.
Yeah. Wow, Terrence, thanks.
Yeah.
If you didn't know. So then she gets home.
Scene where she's cleaning up at the sink where I that I was talking to you guys about earlier. Where it's just, apples on toothpicks.
Yeah, it doesn't look
good. And at that time when you said it, that's what the scene that I was at. She looks like she's like bow-legged as fuck, and her ass looks fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
It does not match.
Oh, wow.
Like when you said that, I was literally at that scene when you said that.
It's just like this.
Shaped like a pea.
Yo, that looks terrible. Yo, stop putting Fix-A-Flat in your ass, man. Just stop. Yo, you guys you're already beautiful. Yo, stop doing this to yourselves. It's ridiculous. I don't know, man. Do a squat. And anyway, so old toothpicks. Her husband turned. Kevin's like, so what is Janet talking about? She left me this crazy message, and your name is Elizabeth Carter. What happened to your face? Why are your face all messed up? And she's like, well, that's just plastic surgery. Don't worry about that. By the way, she has a weird surgery that women are getting where they're getting the back of their lip cut thing. It's gross. Please stop doing that. You look like the fucking Joker. It's weird. It's very, very weird. Please stop. It's not attractive. So she starts hallucinating and seeing him as that dude who killed that she first killed, who killed her son or what have you. And so she's yelling at him. She's like, "I hate you. I hate you. You know, I'm gonna kill you." And he's like, "You gonna kill me? Like, girl, what the hell did I do?" And then next thing we know, this dude got beat up and he's tied to a chair. And she's
how strong is this woman? Yeah,
I'm very strong.
Like,
she's extremely strong.
Very powerful. Again, this nigga's been wearing muscle shirts all movies to show that he's not exactly a small man. Like, I feel like he could just pick her up and throw her into a fucking
Nah, it just proves that gym muscles don't mean shit. Yeah, gym muscles don't mean nothing.
Yeah, you just a bigger dude to get knocked out. That's all it means. She starts jumping around with the gasoline. Really doesn't make you look very good with that dress on. It just you look very silly. And she's like, hee, I'm the Joker. I got gasoline. And it's pouring out like they only had the budget for like an ounce of water. Then her son comes downstairs. He's a hallucination. And he's like, "Oh, you've killed enough people. Like, you did enough, Mom. I love you. Like, please stop murdering." She's like, "Nah. Like, shut up. Look at me. Shut up. I'm gonna kill you." And so she pours more gas, and she's getting ready to light a match. By the way, if you're pouring gas on someone, you don't have to be right in their face to light it. Like, you just light it and just throw it at them. Like, you're probably gonna hit it.
Or if you've got the Zippo right, and if she's got the Zippo right in your face, just blow it out.
Like, oh, and then like punch in the mouth. You know, she's trying to set you on fire. You know, all bets are off.
Yeah, act like your life is in danger. You know,
right? Again,
your son is in the room. For God's sake,
no, his son is not in the room. That was a complete hallucination. She wasn't even projecting her son onto his son. But he's
upstairs.
Yeah, he's upstairs. But as we know from the first movie, the fire makes it up the stairs quite fast in the beginning of that film. So can't fuck around. But he was tied up, so he couldn't like physically fight. And then they show a scene of him getting out of the ropes that she had tied him up in. And frankly, she was definitely not in the Navy. This is the worst series of knots I've ever seen. Like
she wasn't a Boy Scout.
Terrible knot tire. You're right.
Yeah, this is not proper work for a person who's killed over 6 people. And so he gets out, and they start coming to blows. And again, I feel like this would not be a like, I'm struggling. I'd just be like, you weigh 100 pounds. I'm gonna throw you outside. Like, what the fuck are we having a conversation?
This is what I'm saying. Yeah.
She
all of your limbs are about as thick as the cardboard solenoid that's at the end of a roll of paper towels, yo. Like, just break them.
She's so skinny. Then the son comes in and he jumps around her neck and he's like, I got him. And she tosses his ass off, which was pretty easy. And then she starts like going crazy and she's like screaming and everything. And then Janet comes in and literally blows her back out with a gun. And they have a
smoke on my gun.
Yeah, they put a terrible effect. It's like, all right, you didn't really have to do that.
Oh my goodness, you didn't need that. You really didn't.
I like the idea of, I want to see a blooper of that kid riding on her back and then just laughing because the scene is silly as fuck. And she's like, I am your mother. And he's like, no, you're not. And then the real mom comes in and shoots her right in the back. Literally with a smoking gun.
It really irritates me that these niggas are struggling against this little woman. Yeah, I don't know how tall she is.
Yeah,
but like I'm going to knock your fucking teeth out. You know, I don't give a fuck if you're a woman or not. You know? Like at this point,
you're trying to
kill
burn me and my son alive. Like,
I'm gonna
the
throw
rules
you
are
into
done.
every piece of furniture in this fucking house.
Yeah,
and I can do it because I'm stronger than you.
Like,
get the fuck out! I'm not struggling with you. You know?
Yeah, I'm very strong. So the cops then question them after the incident, and they're just like, so let me get this straight: you shot her in the back, and then you left,
Right.
and then she just got the fuck up and walked out, and you can't find her, and they're like, we can't find her.
Yeah, like Batman.
Yeah.
She smoke pelleted out. I don't know where the fuck she went.
Yeah, the smoke from the gun she was shot in the back with. And so they're just like, man, this is crazy. And then smash cut to 1 year and a summer later, or whatever they said in the first movie. We see Marcus Houston and Keith Sweat's son and his girlfriend. I don't remember any of their names. I think Eddie. We see a scene of them as the son gives his father this great present.
He gave him a gift. He gave him a gift, and it was a picture of them.
Right. But it has something written on the back, which was really important, which was...
This is the scene from the end of the first movie.
Is it?
Is
This
it?
is the exact... Yeah, they just fucking put the scene from the end of the first movie. Yeah.
I blocked that shit out, man.
Yeah, I did not remember that.
And I don't know why the fuck they did that. I was like, boy.
You know what? You're right,
What
because
is
he's
that
still
feeling?
wearing them. He's still wearing them Golden Girls pearls around his neck.
Right.
That's weird.
Yeah, this is the scene. They just put this in there at the end, and it's the same exact scene. They just
edited it
I
back
don't-
in. And
I don't know why. It doesn't
and
make
so
any
it-
sense.
Yeah, and so you see he got a letter. He got a letter, and the letter is from Zoe, aka Diane, aka Elizabeth, and it says, "See you, to my Eddie. See you soon, or see you next time," or something like that. And then you see her walk off, and she's giving this Joker level smile. And look, I don't know anything about Erica Mena personally. I really don't. But the way she's smiling and this very, very clear picture of her teeth, I assume she drinks a lot of Dr. Pepper. That's all I can assume. She has insanely huge veneers. God bless her. And so she walks off and she's like, yuck, 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 yuck.
Nigga,
I'll
this
be back.
is the exact same scene.
Yeah, it is, and I fucking get it.
And then she walks off. And then I'm gonna turn on.
What?
Damn, Marcus Houston's in a lot of these movies too. That's crazy.
I guess he got a. Maybe he has like.
They might have a deal with Tubi.
Tubi?
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
they
saying?
clearly do. They clearly do. He's in something called Best Friend. It is also a Tubi original.
Good for them.
Yeah, good for them. Can't wait to
Look, I
Tubi
like a
is
bad
owned by
movie.
Fox.
I like a bad movie, guys. I really do. I loved Fatal Affair. That movie was so stupid. I loved it. I had a real good time
Which
with
one
that
was that?
movie.
Was that the one with Mike
With
Epps?
Omar Epps. With
Oh, that's
Omar
a good
Epps
one.
and
Yeah,
Neil
that's
Wall.
a good one.
Yeah, man, I love that movie. Obsessed with Idris Elba and
That's
Beyonce.
the top.
Beyonce.
That's the top. Yo, that's the top one. Yo, come on.
That's
Come
a good
on.
fucking
I
time.
love that movie. I love that movie.
Beyonce fucked her up in that last scene. That shit was amazing.
These movies can just they can all just go to hell, yo. I don't like any of these movies. And friend of the show JTD, he went on a binge of this. I feel like, look, JTD is a very smart man. He's a very nice man. I don't know what the fuck his problem is, yo. Like I
question his taste in movies, yo. I do.
I question everything about every decision he's ever made that's not related to like his family, because his family is lovely, but like every single other thing that he's ever done, I would have to call into question. Because you can't love movies and watch all these things. You just can't. You can't. Our homeboy Film Wanderer, he ain't writing letterbox reviews of these movies. You know what I'm saying? Like
he should.
Like,
he should.
No, yo, I don't know if I can do another one, yo. I really don't. Like I was
that's what
really
you said
annoyed.
the last time. That's what you said the last time.
Yeah, and like a good soldier, I come in and fight the good fight, which is fighting this fucking movie.
And look, that's all.
But I swear to God, man, I don't know. Nah, yo, we can't make this like a thing. You know?
No,
what I mean?
no, absolutely not, absolutely not.
Like the Tyler Perry thing was a thing for a while, and then we ran out of movies that didn't star Medea. That's why we don't do as many Tyler Perry movies anymore.
We're waiting on him to do something else.
But this can't be a thing. It can't.
I'm not watching a bunch of Tubi movies. Like absolutely not. Like no, thank you. I'll watch The Great Debaters, but then I'm not gonna watch Plug Love or whatever other fucking nonsense. I'm not watching the one where the nigga curved the bullet. You're not gonna
watch A Love Story from the Streets.
I mean, I'll watch that in my personal time. Like, come on. Of course. All right, I think that is it for us. We hope you enjoyed that episode. I know Micah did. I certainly did.
The recommended list for me. The recommended list, the first 6 movies that they have recommended to me are The Stepmother 2, The Stepmother, The Color Purple, The Assistant, Poetic Justice, and The Dirty D. I don't know. I think I don't know, man. I think I need to just delete Tubi, yo.
Yeah, I'm not deleting Tubi. I'm skimming through a love story from the streets. Just kind of skimming. They fucking again, yo. It's another movie. So they're just straight fucking. If you skip to 101 of a love story from the streets, they fucking. This is crazy. What is happening? I'm serious. They're in the bathtub fucking right now. You should check it out. That woman is kind of fine. Anyway.
Oh shit! I went to Black Cinema and A Love Story from the Streets is right there. All right, what was the time?
Yeah, go to 101.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna do that. All right, that is it. That's it for us.
They definitely fucking in that.
Yo, it's fucking crazy.
Yo, they definitely fucking in that tub because they kissing for real. You know what I mean? They ain't like movie kissing. Like they ugly kissing, right? Like they smash their lips together, yo.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Nigga, this might as well be a sex tape, yo. Like, get the fuck.
Come on. All right, yo. Yeah, they're definitely wow.
Look, more power to them. More power to them.
Look.
Yo, this is yo.
I get the fuck on film.
Yo, this is egregious, yo.
That's fine.
I'm gonna have to watch this movie. This shit looks good.
I just watched the part of this movie.
Look. Probably. There might be another scene. I gotta watch it through. I gotta see. Wow. God bless. Thanks, Terrence. All right, that's it for us. We will see you guys back next week for another preview episode for I believe that is preview for episode 249. So later, guys. Bye.
See ya.
You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of black movies, past and present. And every other week, we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the black community.